Alrighty, folks, it looks like we are live. We are live, and it is Friday, March 15th, 2019. We're doing things on a different day again this week because it's been so crazy. Just so many things happening. We'll be back on schedule, though, next week. It is mid-March of 2019. I know you can't believe it. I can't either. Let me double check, as I usually do, just to make sure that everything is live and properly showing. So I'm going to go ahead and click real quick here. And I see a heart already, so let me say hello. I just want to wave at you. And I'm also going to do a really quick shout out to those of you who are on live with me. And then we'll go ahead and get started with our formal presentation. I say formal, but it's never really that formal, right? When we're on live together, we're talking about trends and tips when it comes to Thursday or Friday. This is our Trends and Tips show where we talk about content marketing strategies for social media. My name is Tanya Smith, for those of you who do not know me, and I'm with Mindfully Marketing. And so this is one of my all-time favorite things to do these days is these Facebook Live events. And part of the reason is that it gives me an opportunity to really connect and engage with you. So if you do have questions or comments, if there's anything that's happening in your neck of the woods and you've got some questions about it, or if there's another topic that's complementary to the topic that we're talking about for the day or for the evening, then I want you to chime in and let me know if you have tools or trends or tips that you've heard of that you're excited about. All right. So I do see a few folks and I just want to wave at you and say hello. And if you are on live with me, then just type in the comments where you're from. And I see Misty and I see Virginia Jen. The sunset looks good. Yeah, it does. Thank you. And then I see Nicolette. I'm glad you caught here too, because I know you're so super busy, Nicolette, promoting your book and doing all the things that you do as an amazing career coach. I think a lot more people need to know about you, so I tell people every chance I get. Misty is also an amazing health and meditative coach. She's great when it comes to anything that has to do with calming yourself and making sure that you're really tapping into your own inner power. So I love that about Misty. And then Virginia Jen is a health and wellness expert. So I know all of you who are on live so far. If anyone else joins in and I don't know you, feel free to introduce yourself right here in the comments. So again, I want to welcome you. My name is Tanya Smith, and this is Mindfully Marketing. So let's go ahead and dive in since I've had a chance to say a couple of hellos. I want to dive into tonight's topic, and the topic is around the idea of limiting beliefs. So if you have been thinking about doing Facebook Live video and you just keep stopping yourself and you keep stopping yourself and there's something that is holding you back, then I want to talk about 5 limiting beliefs that tend to hold you back. And I also want to gift you with some affirmations you can use to help yourself to be more powerful and to really operate in your power when it comes to video marketing. So that's what we're going to cover today. And if you're ready to come on the journey with me, then let's get started. I'm going to share my short intro and I'll be right back. Alrighty, folks, again, I'm Tanya Smith, and I am super excited to be here. I don't know, this day actually feels right for me. Even though we've moved officially to Thursday for our Trends and Tips show, Thursday nights at 8:30. I had a little bit of a challenge this week because I wanted to balance taking care of the kids and doing some things with them for spring break. So you know how that is. I'll also share that I am tonight dealing with 2 puppies who have those big cones around their necks because they were neutered this morning and had microchips installed. Because, you know, we want to take the best care of our animal family too. So that's just been an interesting little thing. And you might end up seeing one of them if they're whining or feeling a little bad. I might bring them up and share them on video with you so that you can also say, oh, and feel sorry for them like I am right now. But we're going to talk about tonight you. And we want to cover this whole concept of doing Facebook Live because I know many of you have raised your hand and said in the past, yes, I want to do more on-camera video. Yes, I want to do more Facebook Live, but I'm just not sure that I'm ready for that. And so it's probably what's holding you back is the idea that you have created these roadblocks for yourself that you haven't even figured out you're creating, right? And so I want to talk a little bit about that. So I want to talk about it on two perspectives. One angle is the angle of self-motivation. So there's some things that we believe about ourselves, and I'll hang that until the last few minutes. We're usually on for about 10 to 15 minutes or so for those of you who are new to watching us. But the first part of it, I want to give you some technical facts, and to make sure that you know that these are limiting beliefs not only you have adopted, but others have adopted too. So I've taken a few notes, and I want to make sure I cover each of these for you. The first one is, the first belief that's limiting, that's holding you back, is that you need a crew in a studio to make an impact. As you can see, you may not be able to see when people do this, but I'm not a huge marketing company that has this big crew of people. You can do Facebook Live all on your own. You're equipped, you have the right equipment, you have the right resources. Basically, in its simplest form, all you need is a camera. And frankly, you can do that with your current smartphone. So you can use your smartphone. You don't need a fancy microphone. You can use the microphone that's on your smartphone. And even if you wanted to get something that's affordable or a little inexpensive when it comes to microphones, there are plenty of them out there. In fact, what I'm using right now is not my fancy schmancy Blue Yeti microphone, which you usually will see a little bit of, a little tip of shows up in the video camera. Right now I'm using a lavalier microphone. So this microphone is actually one that is mounted right inside my shirt. And it makes the sound. I think you can probably hear me pretty well, but it gives me clarity of sound. And it was maybe $20, $17 or so on Amazon. So literally you can find, or you probably already have, the simplest form of tools that you need to begin. So no, you do not need a crew and a big studio to make an impact. You have the capabilities now, thankfully, of being able to film a live stream video right from your phone and right from any of the equipment that you currently have. Now, of course, you'll need more planning to make it an interesting live stream video. So you do want the opportunity to be able to sit down and plan. And so that's one of the things that I'm really going to be working with clients on in the near future. I have a couple of courses, and I actually have a planner, which I'll share with you as well today. And that's free, by the way. So make sure you stay to the end so I can give you the link for that. But you really want to make sure you're planning. But other than that, you have the equipment that you need. You have the resources you need in order to be able to do a live stream. So that's limiting belief number one. You can go ahead and throw that one out of the window. Limiting belief number two is that live streaming is only for the younger generations. So many of you will know that I am over 40. In fact, I'm well beyond 40 and getting close to bumping up on the age of 50. So here's the thing. What I want you to realize is that it does not matter what age you are. If you're willing and you have a message and you have an audience that you want to talk to and connect with, Facebook Live is for you. It can work for you. The number one thing I often ask my clients is, have you already experimented to find out if you have an audience on Facebook? Because sometimes people make an assumption that you don't have an audience. You don't have people that will listen to what you have to say, but you may be surprised. So the best thing you can do is to practice and test it out and see. But it is not limited to those of us who are in a younger generation. It's for everyone. It doesn't matter what age you are. In fact, I was watching someone the other day who I know is well into their 70s and doing very well with Facebook Live. So it's about your message. In fact, let me give you a couple of statistics that I jotted down. So experts say that 77% of adult Americans own smartphones, and 78% of adults ages 30 to 49 are regular Facebook users. So not only are adults using Facebook more frequently and seeing video in their feeds, but you have older, more established service-based entrepreneurs like us who are embracing the use of video to expand their brand. So this is an opportunity that's meant for you. It doesn't matter what your age is. Okay? I want you to go ahead and throw that one out the window. So let's get to number 3, and I'm going to check in a second and see if I see any comments. And you know what? If you agree with me that age does not matter when it comes to Facebook Live, go ahead and put either a thumbs up or a heart inside the comments because I want to hear from you. The third myth, the third limiting belief is that live streaming is only for big name brands. So you're thinking about Procter & Gamble, you're thinking about Dove, you're thinking about Red Bull. There's other Facebook pages that have just leaps and bounds, hundreds and thousands of people who are part of their fan audience. Even if you have 2 people and they happen to be your mom and your daughter that are watching on your page, don't let that stop you, because the purpose of you doing these live streams is so that you can build an engaged audience, so that you can create an engaged audience and begin to attract more people. And the more you do your lives, the more consistent you are, the more likely you are going to be able to build an audience. So please do not let that hold you back. This whole idea of being a big name brand does not matter. That is a myth. And that is one that we're also going to throw out of the window. Now, a couple of notes I wrote here. Big name brands may have some advantages in this arena because they do likely have a bigger social media budget. So they may have a staff that's hired especially to come up with content for them. That doesn't mean that you can't sit down and be a planner for your own content. You've got to do it anyway. You've got to plan to create your blog post. You've got to plan to write out your social media post. You've got to plan to put content out there. So why not let it be live video? Why not? What's holding you back? In fact, in the comments, what I want you to do is give me an answer to that question. For you, if none of these things are the ones that are holding you back, what is holding you back from doing more live video? I'm going to scan those answers in just a minute. The fourth one that I jotted down is that there's no value in an old live stream video, meaning that let's say that you've done some old videos and maybe it wasn't a live stream. Maybe it was a video that you did for purposes of a different sort. So you had a workshop that you did, or you talked about a book in a previous video. You have an opportunity now to be able to repurpose that old video into something that you're going to use in your live stream. So that can be part of your content strategy and in building foundational building blocks of information that people can go back and see in your playlist on Facebook Live. So for any of you who are not familiar with that, inside of your Facebook page, there is a videos tab. And inside of your videos tab, you can actually organize your content. And so what I like to do is to go in and to make sure that I'm, for instance, adding, as I do the Tuesday toolbox, I'll add things or add videos where I've talked about a tool, an online tool or an online app into the playlist for the Tuesday toolbox, so that anyone coming to my page can then go and say, hey, I just want to kind of consume all of Tanya's videos that are based on some type of online app. And they can go straight through that playlist instead of trying to find and dig for that information. So there is value in your old content. Bring it back, flip it and reverse it. Some of you caught that, right? And then the fifth one is that somehow you're going to be an overnight success if you do this. I don't know, that's a limiting belief. I think that's a false belief. That is a myth. So the myth is that if you do enough Facebook Live videos or any type of video, let's call it YouTube videos, LinkedIn videos, whatever it is, that you're going to be an overnight success. I want to make a correction there and tell you that is a myth, because it does take time. You can't simply put out one video today, one video in a week, one video in another month from now, and expect that to do the trick. What you've got to do is to come up with a consistent plan and calendar. And so that plan is really what drives the intention behind your Facebook live streams. Okay, so those are 5 limiting beliefs on a technical side of things. And let me double check and just make sure. I'm going to scan through and see if I have any comments. Flip it and reverse it. Yeah, Misty caught it. Misty, you caught the reference. Yep. All right. And then I saw that note. I am holding me back. Yes. I want to get into that inner piece too. Time is holding me back. Yes. So I don't have time. Yeah. All of these things. Okay. So these are things that are inner inner myths that we're holding on to. So I want to talk about those really quickly here before we get ready to wrap, because I think those are really key and important. And we have talked about these in the On-Camera Confidence course, which we're going to be opening up again, by the way, March 25th. So be looking for information on that. It's coming very soon. But here's what I want to tell you about that. From an inner standpoint, one of the things that we tend to do, and this is something that is not just relevant to video marketing, it's just for everything. I remember so many times as a kid being bullied and being taunted and being talked about. I remember hearing things like, your nose is so big, or you talk funny, or, you know, your eyes are squinty, they're just too small. I mean, I even had jokes and people talking about my ears being too small. Because I don't know if you could tell, but I don't have like an earlobe. Like it just connects right here. And it's genetic. But what's the big deal? But as a kid, that's something that we hung on to. What the things that were said to us, the taunts that were made, whether it was someone outside of our family or it could have been a family member. These are things that kind of stick with us. And so from our birth until up to becoming an adult, you're watching me right now. Some of those things you're probably holding on to, and you are holding yourself back from doing video because you believe that there's a problem with your appearance and that there's something that's not perfect about you. What I want to tell you is that Facebook Live and any type of live streaming right now, the reason why I believe it is so popular and why it's becoming even more popular is because there's a sense of transparency behind it and authenticity, and people are being real. Like, I'm really right here with you, talking to you about Facebook Live. And so I want to tell you, if that is what's holding you back, then you can nix that one too and throw it out with the rest of the myths that we talked about a few minutes ago, because you are brilliant. And this is what I want to give you. I want to give to you 5 different affirmations you can tell yourself right now and reverse all of that that you've been holding on to. One is, I want you to say to yourself, I have all the resources I need right now to do live video. You can say it with me because nobody's in the room with you more than likely. I have all the resources I need to do live video. I have all the resources I need to do live video. You do. You have a phone. You have a voice. You have a message. You have something to share. So that's affirmation number 1. Number 2, I let go of negative thoughts about myself and my appearance. I let go of negative thoughts about myself and my appearance. The thing is, you are gorgeous. You are beautiful, even in your imperfect self. None of us are perfect. No one watching you is perfect. So why should we put that type of expectation on ourselves that we have to be perfect? Our background doesn't have to be perfect. Our image doesn't have to be perfect. Sure, we're going to do the best with what we have, but you are an imperfect, perfect being. So I want you to be okay with that. Be okay with that and say to yourself that I let go of negative thoughts about myself and my appearance. Affirmation number 3, I have brilliant ideas and I make useful contributions everywhere I present myself. So no matter where you are, whether it's on audio, video, in your blog text, wherever you are presenting yourself, wherever you're sharing your content, you have brilliant ideas and you're making a contribution with that. Number 4, preparation and speaking about what I know gives me power. Preparation and speaking about what I know gives me power. It gives you the ability to be able to speak on camera and on stage when you can talk about what you know. I'll tell you the one and only time that I can remember as someone who was a tenured speaker where I felt totally out of water was when I was talking about a topic I knew nothing about, and I did it for a friend who had a relationship conference, and she was like, Tanya, I just really want you to be part of my conference, and I want you to speak because you and your husband have been married for so many years, and I think you would know what you're talking about. You can share your personal experiences, but that's not a topic that I'm an expert in. Sure, my husband and I have made it work. But that has nothing to do with me giving advice to other people. And I felt totally like a fish out of water because I did not know what I was talking about. So what I want you to do is to reach inside your pocket, reach inside your heart, reach inside your book, wherever you've put content, wherever you know you've built your expertise. And remember that preparation and speaking about what you know gives you power. And that's what you're going to use when you talk about content on Facebook Live. And then finally, video is just another way I can connect with the audience that is meant to hear my message. Because it's not the only way, it's just another way. So don't be afraid to use this as another strategy as part of your overall marketing strategy to connect with the audience that is meant to hear your message. Because your message is important. It's important for someone. The reason why you were given that message and given that seed is because it's been planted inside of you to share with someone else. So why hide it? Don't deny it. Use it and leverage video as another way that you can market your message and share your message. Okay? All right. So I'm going to check real quick and see if we have any commentary, if we have any questions. Yes, Misty, you do have all that you need. Yes, you do. We're getting ready to call this a wrap here shortly. I see some other folks have joined us live, and I just want you to know I appreciate you coming, showing up, especially on a Friday evening or whenever you're watching this. And by the way, if you're watching the replay, please put in #replay so that I know you were here. And if you have any questions or comments that I happen to miss, because I won't be on live in a few minutes, I'm getting ready to wrap. But if I miss anything, I will come back and respond to you. So please feel free to come back. So I promised I would leave you with the link to my free Facebook Live planner. So my free Facebook Live planner, you can scoop up right now. Just go to mindfully.link/FB Live Planner. That's mindfully.link/FB Live Planner. And you can scoop up my brand new Facebook Live marketing planner. It's like a workbook that you can use. It's going to walk you through some tips and strategies around Facebook Live. Fill it in, and you will never run out of ideas on what to say because it's going to help you to map out your exact script that you need to put together, because we talked about preparation and planning, right? It's not just about getting on a camera and starting to talk. It's about being prepared, even if it's not completely scripted out. One of the things that I teach in my on-camera confidence class is the idea of how to outline your script and to bullet point certain things so that you don't forget. So you notice I was referring to different notes myself to make sure that I captured everything that I needed to. And so I want to teach you how to do that too. So the first way you can get started with that is by downloading my free planner. So again, mindfully.link/FB Live Planner. You are so welcome. Hey, Marcia, it's good to see you. Awesome sauce. Okay, so I didn't see any questions, but I will come back. If I see some a little later, I'll scan back again. Yes, all of those different affirmations, I want you to go back and replay this and write them down if you didn't catch them. There were 5 affirmation statements that I want you to affirm every time you start getting ready to roadblock yourself from doing a Facebook Live. Then I want you to go back, repeat those things to yourself. Say it in the mirror or say it into a camera and practice. Even if you don't publish it at first, but say it to yourself and make sure that you believe it. You're going to say it so much that until it's real, right? Because remember, our fears are nothing but false evidence appearing real. But what we're talking about is making the beliefs that we have be powerful and strong, and about supporting us and empowering us to be able to share the message that we are meant to share with the audience that's intended to receive it. Not everybody's intended to receive your message. So you don't have to have 100 people watching. I don't have 100 people watching right now, but the people who are meant to hear this message are hearing it right now. That's what's important. All righty, guys. I want to make sure to invite you back to follow at Tanya Smith Online. I hope that I get to see you in future Facebook Lives. We're going to do some that will include our virtual conference line at Blue Jeans, which allows you to jump online with me so that we can all be on together, having a conversation back and forth on our Facebook Live. So we've got some tools and some strategies and some things. But I really appreciate you coming tonight. So come back. Make sure you're following our page at Tanya Smith Online so you never miss a live video. We're usually here on Tuesdays for Tuesday Toolbox and on Thursdays for Trends and Tips. But I appreciate you joining me on a Friday night. And I hope you have an amazing rest of the week and that you remember that you can do this. If you're thinking about doing Facebook Live, get going. Just put your toe in the water, and then I'll help carry you the rest of the way with some upcoming things that we have. So the first thing is going to be the planner that I mentioned to you. The second thing will be an on-camera confidence course. The third thing is we're going to have a 4-week program where we're really going to dive deeply into some advanced strategies when it comes to putting together your own Facebook Live content to market your page and to grow your page phenomenally. So I'm really excited about that. All right, guys, take care and have an amazing rest of your weekend. And you're very welcome. Thank you for watching.